I just want to start by showing off this shirt. Look at it. It's Chrono and Frog, and they're against Ozzy, and they're doing X Strike. Isn't that cool? What a cool shirt. I used to think harm always looked like anger. Or violence. But some of the deepest pain I've carried didn't come from cruelty. It came from people who loved me. People who were trying to help. People who thought they were saving me. And for a while, I believed them. I told myself they were doing their best, and they knew something that I didn't. That their intentions mattered more than the hurt that lingered. But the truth is, intent isn't impact. Some video games understand this better than we expect. They give us characters who mean well, who try to protect, to teach, to heal, and who still leave damage in their wake. And I'm not talking about The Last of Us this time. This is an essay about misguidedness, about when doing your best causes harm, and about the kind of hurt that's hard to name because it comes wrapped in love. There's a moment in Clair Obscur. Is it pronounced Clair Obscur? There's a moment in Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, barely 15 minutes in, that quietly devastates me. Gustave and Sophie stand by the water waiting for the gommage. Look how good I am at pronouncing these French terms. Sophie's world is ending. She knows her time is up because she's next. Next to be named, next to be erased by the paintress. She stands there with Gustave. She doesn't ask for advice. She doesn't ask to be saved. She simply longs for Gustave to say something that she needs to know in that very moment. Did I matter to you? Will you miss me? Did you truly love me? And Gustave, soft, stoic, quiet, doesn't say it. He dodges, he deflects, he offers the kind of half-present reassurance that sounds nice on the surface.
I'm here.
He couldn't actually give her himself, not emotionally speaking. And that silence, no matter how well-meaning, is a kind of harm. Because in her final moments, Sophie doesn't get that connection. Not in the way she wants it. She gets platitude. Gustave thinks he's protecting her, being strong for her. He doesn't want to overwhelm her, doesn't want to make it worse, take a wrong step. But in trying to avoid discomfort, he withholds what she really needs the most: real intimacy. And when she's gone, we see that cost. Gustave is shattered. He couldn't give her what she desperately needed and presumably deserved. He just left her emotionally alone right before she vanished. We often tell ourselves that love means strength, stoicism, knowing the right words. But sometimes love means vulnerability, letting your feelings and heart be seen and held and known, even when it's messy and hurts. Gustave's failure isn't loud or cruel or malicious. Not at all. It's a quiet harm. It's how humans often are harmed. And it's the kind of mistake I, and I assume many of you watching, have made as well. If so, I want to hold a space for that too. We can't be as good as we want to be sometimes. And speaking of this, Firewatch is a quiet, contemplative... Nope, that's way too much energy. Firewatch is a quiet, contemplative game about isolation and connection, and the stories we tell ourselves to feel less alone. You play as Henry, a middle-aged man who's taken a summer job as a fire lookout in the Wyoming wilderness. He's there to escape. His marriage is falling apart, his wife is sick, and the world he built for himself has cracked wide open. The only real human connection Henry has is through a walkie-talkie, talking to a person named Delilah, a veteran lookout in another tower. They've never actually met before, weirdly. But over the course of the game, they share stories, jokes, vulnerability. They form something that feels like a deep closeness. It perhaps emulates what Henry had always wanted with his wife. And in that space, between their voices, both of them start to need something from the other. But here's the thing. Needing connection isn't the same as offering care. And wanting to help someone doesn't mean you're ready to hold space for them. And Delilah is never really there. She's a voice in a tower, a voice on the other end of that walkie-talkie, and she's hiding from her past and from her responsibilities.
But I can assure you it would not be rotting at the bottom of that cave. There's nothing to say. Hike back. I think we're leaving tomorrow anyway.
When things get strange, when a missing boy becomes something more than just a sad story, Delilah pulls back. She downplays and distracts and avoids. Even as you start to lean on her more and more, she refuses to be leaned on. She goes quiet. Delilah didn't mean to hurt Henry, but she did. She was encouraging intimacy, but she wasn't actually ready for it. By pretending to be a guide when she wasn't grounded herself. She's not malicious. She's trying to give Henry the thing he needs, but she never had. In psychoanalytic psychology, this is called transference. It's when one person pushes their point of view onto another person, or more precisely, it's the, quote, redirection of emotions to a substitute, often emotions that were originally felt or meant to be felt in childhood. And it can be really damaging as it brings with it a whole host of assumptions and bars that people have to clear. And speaking of this, Yuna is grace incarnate. Her voice is soft. Her heart is open. She is willing to die to bring peace to the world. Sidebar, I kind of sort of dated someone who was just like this, and I didn't realize at the time that I was really just all about Yuna and not this particular girl, and it's amazing how I put the two together. So there we go, moment of being seen. I'm sure you've done the same thing. Let me know in the comments how you've confused a girl that's in a video game with a girl in real life and you've put transference onto them. Okay, back in. She's willing to die to bring peace to the world, and she's not just willing, she expects to die. It's part of the job. She's a summoner. She walks the path. She plays the role. Because everyone before her has. Because that's what's been expected. So she should too.
If she calls it, then the final Aeon's gonna kill her. Even if she defeats Sin, it will kill Uni too, you know?
And for most of the game, you believe in her. You want to believe in her. She's noble, she's brave, she's selfless. Pretty cute. But eventually the truth cracks through. Her pilgrimage, her sacrifice. It's part of a cycle of trauma, one designed to offer temporary peace in exchange for permanent loss. Yuna's kindness, her gentleness, her strength, they're all being used to keep a broken system running. Sound familiar to anyone? She maybe didn't fully know or understand, but she still participated. She still led people towards death, because she believed that was the way forward. How many times have we walked a path that we thought was righteous, that actually put people into traps? How often, when we've tried to sacrifice something, have we then made others in the future have to sacrifice? That's what Yuna's contributing towards. How often have we had to come to the realization that we are the ones carrying someone else's pain forward in the name of nobility? So here's the thing, none of these characters are villains or bad guys. They're not trying to control or dominate or destroy. They're trying to help. They're trying to be good. And sometimes, so are we. We step into roles. For some of us, parents, therapists, hi, licensed therapists here, pastors, teachers, friends, and we do our best. We listen, we protect, we advise, we love. But love doesn't always land cleanly. Sometimes love comes out as overprotection. Sometimes help turns into pressure. Sometimes trying to fix someone is just a way of refusing to sit with and honor their pain. It's hard to notice harm when it's wrapped in care. It's even harder to believe that it's harm. Because it doesn't look like a slap. It looks like advice. It looks like a hug. It looks like someone saying, I only want the best for you. But intention doesn't create immunity. And love doesn't make the consequences disappear. It often makes it worse. Boop. Quick interruption here. Here's my cat. If this kind of reflective video sounds like your thing, you need to hit subscribe. The next video might be the one that puts a name to something that you didn't know you needed naming. So hey, again, hit that subscribe button. Now back to the video. And if you were ever this person who was just trying to help, that matters too. There's no such thing as a perfect helper. No such thing as love that never misses. And I've been really guilty of this too. And I'll forever be present with some of these moments and reminders of doing this. It's why I encourage everyone to frequently practice self-forgiveness. This seems like a good opportunity to point you to my video on self-forgiveness. It's a practice we must always be engaging with. It is important to note that we can learn to notice our blind spots and not be identified by them. We can ask harder questions. Am I helping or am I controlling? How would I know? Am I listening or just waiting to talk? And that Tyler Durden who's like, we're all just people waiting for our turns to talk. Am I supporting them or am I doing what I would want if I were them? Those are two very different things. Misguidedness is best not seen as a failure, but simply as the cost of being human who's in connection with other humans. It just comes with the territory sometimes. But if we can see it clearly, if we can name it, then maybe we can do less harm the next time around. Thanks for listening. Be kind to yourself today and be kind to others. As usual, I like to give you a reason to subscribe to the channel. If this video made you feel seen or helped you reflect on something that you've carried, consider subscribing. On this channel, we explore the emotional layers in games that don't always get talked about. I'm really passionate about it, and it's something I want to continue to do. So you can really help me out by subscribing and maybe sharing a video. Sometimes you don't know you need a video until it shows up in your feed. So please take this opportunity and subscribe. Thanks for having me. Thank you for sharing your time. I hope you have a really wonderful thought about bugs today. Bugs are really cool. Thanks.